You are listening to Love, Light, Lonnie, the podcast. I'm Lonnie Nishiyama, and join me as we discover the gifts that live within all of us and how these gifts bring us together to love, help others, inspire, and of course, vibrate higher. Welcome to Love, Light, Lonnie. Hi, it's Lonnie, and I am here for season 2. I never even thought I would have seasons in anything, and let alone a podcast. So thank you to anyone that listens to me. I appreciate it, especially on Spotify, because that's where most of you are. And I'm really grateful to even be able to speak, to move my body, to be alive. So thank you very much. And I can't wait to talk to you today solo. I've been doing a lot of self-reflecting. It's been New Year's, the Lunar New Year. Like, all of these awesome things are happening that make you kind of reflect upon yourself and your life and changes you'd like to make yourself a better person, a better soul. And there are a few things I'm going to talk about today, but the main thing that I want to hit home is that our upbringings, who we are, everything we've been through makes us who we are today. And we have the choice to react the way we want to react, the way we want to react. Sorry. I know like life can be really hard on people and they can react and be really mean about it or hold grudges or unhappy or sad and depressed or be fake and put a mask on and pretend they're all macho or cool or masculine energy. But at the end of the day, it's about love and how we give it to others, how we react, and how we make the world a better place. I realized this because, I have children and I watched one of my children struggle a little bit through some hard times with school and things like that. And I won't get into too much of the detail of it because I still want to keep it private for my babies. But it made me reflect because I wanted to protect my child and do everything for my child to be like, I'm going to protect you. We're going to resolve this. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to do it for you. And then I realized I can't do everything for my child. If I did that, then my child would never learn and be self-sufficient and grow because I'm going to be the person that they always go to. And so, of course, you want to take care of your kids. You need to, and you want to give them everything you never had. But at the same time, they need to grow on their own as well and learn social interactions and emotional intelligence and compassion and empathy for others and not being fake and not being mean. And so I kind of took a step back and realized that although I'm not a helicopter mom, maybe I'm a little bit too involved at times where I need to let them grow up and be them. So I've decided to do that. And then I reflected upon my own life and my upbringing and how um, I definitely did not have parents like that at all. They were very, just let me do whatever I wanted, actually. So maybe that's why I do the opposite. But growing up with divorced parents, being bullied in school a lot, and being a Pisces, so emotional and empathic, it was really hard. I had really low self-esteem, especially in high school. It was like an all-time low. Dated people that probably took advantage of that. Not that they're bad people, and I wish them the best, but definitely was not living my true self and not my true confidence in who I really am in my soul. And then I go to college, and I was still suffering. And so I would party too much or date the wrong people or get involved with groups or friends that maybe I shouldn't have. And not that they were bad, but maybe the way I was acting, the way I was being was not genuine and it was honestly detrimental to myself. So I had to do a lot of self-reflection. And to be quite honest, I have to be grateful to whatever you believe in, God, Spirit, for giving me my kids, because I think that it made me stronger and made me reflect upon myself and made me get my stuff together and be a big girl and really just own who I am. So I have been reflecting upon that lately because I feel that everybody around me that I love um, hasn't fully realized that. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people around me are just starting to understand that because we're in this amazing Aquarius time of reflection and learning and uncovering truths. But I also feel that um, a lot of people don't quite understand why they are suffering or depressed or wearing a mask and being fake and pretending that there's somebody that they're not. And I think people do that because of their childhood traumas and their fears in life. And so they feel like they have to do that in order to gain love and attention, when really you just got to love yourself and really appreciate who you are. And it's not easy. I actually just went to lunch with a couple of friends, and my friend's boyfriend was like, honestly, I didn't really like you, Lonnie. I thought you just everything was handed to you and you were spoiled, and you everything life was just so good for you, and your marriage and this and that and your upbringing was so wonderful. But then he started to say that after getting to know me, he realized that it wasn't that way, that I work really hard to be the person that I am. And that is so true. I work really dang hard. This is like a public YouTube, sorry. Don't curse. I work really hard to react and grow every single day. I could have easily just fallen to pieces, the minute that my dad left. And this is not bad because I actually love my parents now, but my dad, I'm going to be honest, married my mom's best friend. So growing up, it was a little weird. And they lived in an island far away, and I was being raised with my mom here in LA. And even just coming from Hawaii and being around kids that I didn't understand and they didn't like my spam or whatever, it was like, it was hard. And I look different. Look at me, like I'm not your growing up, it wasn't normal to look the way I do or even eat sushi. Now everyone eats sushi. It's like this thing like, what do you want to eat today? It's like, I want to get sushi. It's like everybody eats sushi. Anyways, growing up, everyone thought it was the most disgusting thing. So I don't even get it, but I love sushi. I learned that from my grandfather. That was our date every week together. I miss him. Love you, Grandpa. But I am starting to see how me becoming stronger and owning that is hopefully going to be beneficial to my children, because I don't want them to grow up and feel that either I'm going to help them out in every situation, or that I've abandoned them in any way, or that adversity is bad. Because I think that going through tough times makes you a stronger person. And I hate that because it's cliche, but it's true. If I didn't grow up with my situation, I would not be the mom I am now. I wouldn't care so much about the love that I give to my children if I didn't have my situation. And I even have close family members and friends that have gone through similar upbringings, and they've totally taken a different perspective on it. And it is perspective, to be honest. It's how you learn from it, how you grow from it. And I'm lucky enough to have my kids that I can apply it to. So I think that it feels more tangible and real to me that I've grown because I get to use it every day on them. But it's a real thing. And at the end of the day, it's like marriages aren't going to be perfect. People divorce, people stay together. Whatever is good for you is great. But at the end of the day, it's about loving yourself, loving your loved ones, and loving your kids. I've seen really amicable breakups. I've seen horrible ones. But at the end of the day, I do think that, why do I keep saying at the end of the day? I hate that. I learned that from a comedian a long time ago that I once dated, and I don't like it. It drives me crazy. So delete that out of your mind, Lonnie. Okay. I feel that it is important for us to recognize everything that we've been through, whether you've been bullied, whether your parents did whatever to you. Because let's be honest, my kids are going to wake up one day in their 20s and be like, Mom, you screwed me up. And I'm going to be like, great. But the difference is that I'm going to own it. When I yell at them and make them cry or tell them not to cry or whatever, if I make a mistake, I own it. And I tell them that I love them and I'm sorry. And mommy makes mistakes. I'm just doing it out of the love of my heart. But it doesn't mean that everything I say is the right thing to do. If that was the case, then I would have been like Mother Teresa. And let me tell you, I'm not. It's funny when you laugh alone in a room by yourself. Or it's not. I don't know. So I definitely am not perfect, and I have to own that. And I think by owning it, actually, they look at me as, oh, my mom screws up and it's okay. And she owns it and she apologizes and she grows from it. So if I screw up, I won't be hard on myself. Because that pressure to be perfect is something that I actually picked up as a child because I thought if I was perfect, my parents are going to love me and recognize me more. If I win this accolade, if I win this thing, if I do that, if I get straight A's, if I get into the right college, if I get this thing, it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're going to love you or they're not going to love you. And it doesn't change anything. So being perfect does nothing. And I have to say, you read about all these huge, like, or really rising suicide rates in like Japan because although it's a beautiful culture and country and it's so clean and perfect and pristine, I mean, literally, if you litter, you're done. So, like, you're getting a ticket. Your car can't even be dirty or dusty. Like, it's intense. But people will kill themselves over it. Like, I didn't get straight A's. And, like, but it's like, let's not get carried away. That's just a human thing where we feel like we need to learn and be perfect and have all these accolades. It doesn't matter. It's like being a good person and having love. When you die, okay, I recently was reading this thing. I always read these articles on Flipboard about the elderly or people dying. I don't know why. It's kind of a morbid obsession I have. But they always say, I wish I showed more love. I wish I appreciated every moment. And although I worked hard, and it's important to work hard and earn your pinnacle, your money, it's not everything. And I wish I shared more love with my loved ones or forgave my brother for whatever he did to me or my sister. So I read these things and I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. And so I try to operate out of love. And I've definitely screwed up in the past. I've screwed over friendships. I've screwed over relationships. I've screwed over family members. Not intentionally, but I think I definitely did by being either too, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to say lenient, but maybe I was too giving and too like accepting of things, or I cut people off. And that's not good either. I literally have friends and friend groups that are probably like, where's Lonnie? Like, she just left and she's gone forever because I just couldn't deal. But that's not right either. And it's like I have to protect my energy and have my boundaries, but I at least could have told them what I was doing and why, given them at least an explanation. And so when I apologize to my kids and I give them an explanation as to why I do things, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do because that's something I'm learning to do because I am not perfect and I'm definitely always screwing up. And it's actually made me more accepting of other people too. And when they do things to me, I try to be really forgiving and understand that probably comes from their own fears and their own hurts and their upbringings. So I try not to let that bother me because at the end of the day, of course, my phone rings, right? Okay, turn that off. Thank you, Instacart. We'll call you back. But I don't mind if you leave that in. My editor is like probably like, ugh, do I take that out? But it's life, right? You have Instacart. I do feel like I'm really blessed. And I guess the whole point of this was that we are all going to go through things. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Oh, see, I said at the end of the day, never date a comedian. Never, ever. Because those things, those little sayings and phrases and jokes, they stay with you. It's awful. But I'm really happy in the life that I have now. And my family, my in-laws, my husband, everybody, all four of my parents, my siblings, they all accept me for who I am. Maybe they don't agree with everything I do or say or believe in, but they accept me and they love me. And that is a beautiful gift. And I'm very lucky to have that. And I've worked really hard to have that. And I feel very blessed. I think everyone can feel really blessed if they just accept their fears. And it's not saying they won't pop up all the time. I mean, I still cry in my car sometimes. Hello, Meisner actor. I cry on a whim. But I also feel that I could have chosen to go down a completely different path and perspective in life. And instead, I switch things around so that I can live my best life, so that I can receive all the blessings and appreciate them. And if I need to make changes in my life, if I need to be stronger, if I need to, have more boundaries with people, I'm going to do it because it's for me and it's for the good. I always get mail when I'm recording my podcast. Thank you, sir. Um, and without fail, every single podcast I get mail. And I just really feel that this year is going to be amazing. You know, we're coming out of the age of Pisces, which is a lot of covering up. I know, and I'm a Pisces, so I cover things up. But a lot of covering up and a lot of like, people that try to all believe the same thing. But in the age of Aquarius, which is now what we're entering into, it's a lot of exposing of things so that we can grow and learn from them, whether it's whatever things that are happening, Me Too movements, all of these things. I mean, it really is a thing where things are being exposed. And so, because of that, we're now learning and shifting our perspectives. And I think that's so beautiful because at the end of the day, we are all equal. We are all amazing. We are so awesome. And we're all soul brothers and sisters. And we were meant to be here to teach each other lessons and to be here and be happy. And let me tell you, I don't want to keep reliving these lessons in life. So I try to learn them as soon as possible. ASAP. So that was so sassy. I'm sorry. But that's how I feel. And I wish this for all of you out there. Welcome to season 2. It's about to get a little crunked. Yeah. Because we're going to get crazy. I'm going to do a segment coming up where we're going to cook and do cocktails. So, like, literally crunked. Okay, it's going to get crazy. And I love you guys. And I send you all the love and light in the world. And just remember, believe in whatever you want to believe in. Be you, be true to yourself, and know your power, know your worth. And more importantly, when you know your worth, you know what you deserve, and you will love yourself. Love ya. Peace.